the music under. And give me this camera over here. Good morning and welcome to Infinity Fellowship, y'all. This is Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr, and I am so excited that you are joining us for today's Sunday service. It is third Sunday. That means that it is If Teaches. This is the time. This is the Sunday where we unpack a very powerful spiritual lesson around the subject, clean up what I messed up. I think I can get an amen and an ashe off of that one alone. We want to welcome you to the Infinity Fellowship, especially you first-timers. If this is the first time that you've happed upon us, if you've been a subscriber and you got the notification that we are indeed online today, that we are broadcasting, we are live. It is the 19th of July, 2026, in the year of momentum at the Infinity Fellowship. If you are new and somebody tagged you and somebody told you this is a service that you need to attend, give thanks for that person. They really care a lot about you. So as we get this energy up in this sacred space today, I invite you from a place of conscious awareness to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you like the energy you see, if you feel the love that is coming from the headquarters of the Love Vibration in Nashville, Tennessee, the Infinity Center, we thank you. And we want you to share this love with someone. So this is what we do. For the next few announcement slides, we go ahead and we call our friends. Still got a landline? Still got a cell phone? Call them and say, hey, that spot where the spiritual folks hang out that aren't necessarily religious, they have a church too. They have an energy too. They have a community too. And I'm a part of it today. And I want you to join me so we can have some conversation around how to continue to grow and advance in divine purpose. Get them on the phone. And if you want to send a really, really long text, send all of that with your thumbs. And if you don't, just send them today's link. Just tag them in the chat, especially if you're on Facebook or YouTube. If you're on YouTube, of course, hit that subscribe button. Again, we are the place where many paths meet. So you might consider yourself a churchgoer. You might consider yourself a Christian, a Muslim. You might consider yourself an agnostic. You might be a practitioner of the healing arts from all spectrums. And yet, you desire to have community. And that's what Infinity Fellowship is. Listen, you don't have to go it alone anymore. You have found your home. You have found your love vibration. I'm going to encourage you to say hello in the chat. Say a good morning. If you want to get a jump on the service of gratitude that we start with in the beginning of Infinity, go ahead and let us know who you are, or just say one thing that you're grateful for. If you have something that you would like for us to put into the vibrational frequency of affirmative prayer, then go ahead and drop that in the chat as well, and know that people from all over the globe are going to lift you up in confirmation and affirmation for the things that you need. We're getting ready for a powerful service, so go ahead, since you're at home, grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your water, put us up on the big screen, gather the family together, and together we'll be able to say, welcome to Infinity and welcome home. I'll see you in just a couple of minutes. Let's get ready for a great service, y'all. And at the end of the message today, you get to have your Q&A. So at any point, at any time, go ahead and drop that question in the chat during the download, and we'll get it to you. We'll get it answered, and we're going to have a great conversation today. We love you guys. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome to Infinity. We welcome you into the sacred space on this beautiful, beautiful morning. We're going to start today with a meditation, and in the opening of the way, when we bring a meditative spirit into our consciousness plane, we align ourselves with the universe so that we are open for the frequency of love. So I invite you to just take a deep inhale right now with me, and then just let it all out. Breathe in deeply through your nose. And to release it, fog the mirror. Let's try that again. Breathe in deep. Exhale and fog the mirror. This time, breathe in deep through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Continue to breathe something like this. On the exhale, don't worry about forcing it. When we fog the mirror, we tend to send it out, and then we send it through the nose, and people say, well, Rev, hey, my nose, I might send something into the atmosphere. Well, we don't want you to do that. Just release. And today we want to be more mindful. So as we are mindful in this moment today, I'm going to invite you to find your position of stillness and continue to be mindful of the feeling of the breath. And with each inhale and exhale, with each divine cycle of affirmation of spirit in your body today, be more mindful of where tension is living in your body, maybe in your shoulders. Sometimes when we inhale, we do this, and no, we don't want to do that. And if we've done that on the inhale, we forgive ourselves and release it on the exhale. And as we open our heart by lifting the chest, we relax the shoulders and open the belly. And we confirm being present right now. Do not be afraid to take note of the surroundings around you. Inhaling and exhaling. Not judging, but simply noticing. The plants that surround you, the paintings on the wall. Stay in this present moment. Allow yourself to begin to see the waters that are on your screen. And with every image that you embrace, allow yourself to simply breathe them in and breathe them out. Inhaling and exhaling. Moving through the grass. Noticing the trees. The tiny bits of blue in the sky above. The feeling of Mother Earth beneath your feet. The prickly and yet beautiful dance between the blades of grass and the spaces between your toes. Breathing in the spirit of grounding. exhaling into a spirit of trust. Staying where we are and staying present. Embracing the beauty of nature around us. Trusting that just as the grass has emerged from the ground, as the trees are rooted in the earth, as the branches reach toward the sky, and as the clouds dance around, all things are working for our good. And now, even with the forest, the images in our minds, we invite you to close your eyes, remembering what we have seen and taking it in for a few breaths into our hearts of gratitude. We exist now in this space of knowing, in this space of trusting, in this space of conscious acceptance that every single thing that we desire is within us, that everything we perceive externally is but a sign, is but a circumstance, is but a reminder that everything is connected. And all roads converge at the space of divinity. As we take another deep breath in and pause gently at the top, we bow our heads in humble submission. And as we release, we assume the posture of prayer that is preferable for you. From this place of resonance, from this place of reverence, we open the portal to our brother Tyrell Lindsley, who will take us further in as we begin to pour our energy into realignment for manifestation. I invite you, for the things that you desire, for the things that you want to confirm, for the things that you are grateful for the roads that you have traveled, to tune your attention into the God of your acceptance and understanding. And we tune this energy in through the portal of Brother Tyrell Lindsley, who will take us into affirmative prayer. And so it is.
Limitless, abundant creator, divine breath, we're so thankful to be in your presence today. We're so thankful for the balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine that you have placed inside of our hearts and minds. We're thankful to navigate these paths and these times where there are so many ways for us to be distracted and moved off of our square. But we're thankful for spaces like the Infinity Fellowship that remind us of who we are, where we are, and most importantly, whose we are. We know that not only are we your children, but we are the continuation of the vibration of the universe. We are an expansion of the manifestation you have put into our hearts. And so we open those doors that lead us closer to that understanding that we are not here to play small, that we are not here to sit in lack, that we are not here to doubt that which you have put in us. We open up ourselves to receive the message that we have for today. We open up ourselves to receive the love that is poured into today. We open up ourselves to receive all of the beautiful songs and beautiful vibrations that will be poured into this portal, this opening of the way. We're thankful to be in alignment and community because we know that together we can overcome obstacles that seem impossible. We know that together, when we go through paths of bereavement and dis-ease, that we can be reminded that everything is good. And so, for those in our community who may be experiencing the challenges of loved ones transitioning to life after life, we lift them up right now. We speak positive vibrations to those who have been moved into this realm known as the ancestral realm. We're thankful for all that they have left before us to build on, to remember, to cry about. As we lean into the vibrations of pouring libations from our eyes, we're thankful to acknowledge that this energy is not destroyed because it was never created. It only moves through forms. And so we're thankful to be on the receiving end of that movement. We're thankful to be contributors of that movement. As we continue to center around the vibration of It's My Up, we're thankful to be in this beautiful movement, in this year of momentum, as we are now in the beautiful chair that you have made before us. We are sitting in the chair. We are ready for the master barber, the master stylist to do its will. We are ready for any cuts that we need, anything that we need to let go and remove from our space so that more growth can happen. We're thankful for all of the pieces that are around us from the life and the circumstances that attempted to break us. We're thankful for those pieces because we know with that beautiful glue that you are, that we can put these pieces back together in a way that expands what it is that we are capable of doing. We walk in that knowing, we walk in that understanding, empowered to move forward. Those that are around us who may look at us and say, wow, where did they get that from? We speak that today be a reminder that they have that as well. And so, as our lights continue to expand around the world, we amplify this vibration of love. We amplify this vibration of power. We amplify this vibration of peace because that is where we build from. That is where we empower each other to overcome that which is no longer serving us. As we continue to rebuild the world that attempts to break us down, we're thankful for this community. We're thankful for this space. We speak divine blessings over this beautiful home, this beautiful house. And we speak that something is moved through us individually and collectively. As you move this message through our beautiful oracle, Rev Jeff, our brother, we're thankful for the message coming our way. As we continue to lean into this vibration of It's My Up, we accept the challenge to move forward and move lovingly. In the ancient words of affirmation, we affirm and proclaim this divine energy. Yes, 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 God.
Yes.
In the ancient words of affirmation, Amen,
Amen.
Amin,
Amen.
Hotep,
Hotep.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe. And we give thanks for Brother Tyrell for that powerful pouring of energy into realignment for manifestation. We call it PERM here. It's affirmative prayer. It is an uplifting in a powerful way. And we speak that something was shared in that prayer that allowed you to know that all things are working for your good. Even those things that seem to be circumstantially against you, they are not. They are for you. They are lessons to learn. To everyone who lifted up something in the chat or in their hearts, or someone who wrote a prayer on the inside of their eyelids, we proclaim these things to be true, and so it is. As we move into our pouring of libations, we pour our libations today to recognize those who have transitioned into the space of life after life, where we recognize that all of this energy is, it simply is. We try to dichotomize between the living and those who we perceive to not be living, and yet we know we hear them, we feel them, we know them in our memories and our hearts. And so as we pour this water that represents this side of life, we pour it into the earth that represents what happens on this side of life when we can no longer be held in these physical earth suits. And then we are released into the divine cosmos, back with our true and eternal nature. So as we pour today, we say, cool water, freshen our spirits, ashe. Freshen and consecrate this space for spiritual work, ashe. We give praise to Almighty Mother, Father God, divine source, and all creation, ashe. Grant to us in this pouring, in this ritual, peace and prosperity, ashe. We pour to the 7 directions. The first direction becomes the north because this is our North Star. We recognize that when we pour to the north, we commit to being a yes spirit. We bring yes into the room. We bring yes into our words. We bring yes into our songs. We bring yes into our hugs, our handshakes, our interactions. We bring yes into our text messages. Everything that we bring is an open invitation to be present in gratitude, ashe. To the energy of the east and that direction, this is a brand new day. No matter how long the night was, you made it to right now. Congratulate yourself and be thankful that you got another day to start all over again. That's what the sun teaches us. That here today we got to see another sunrise. And oh, what a blessing is to be here in community, ashe. To the energy of the south and the confirmation and affirmation of who we are and whose we are, serving a loving God, a God that is not a God of judgment, a God of wrath, a God of we're right and everyone is wrong, but a God of a love vibration. And you recognize that you are made in that image and likeness, ashe. To the energy of the west, when the sun goes down, we have the moon and the stars that provide us light in the darkness. And so I speak in the pouring of this libation, in the memory of those who have come before, that you recognize that even in your darkest times, there is a light somewhere. Open your eyes and your spirit and receive it and know that that is God, the universal God, the Mother, the Father God, looking out for you to provide that spark just when you need it, ashe. From there, we go to the ground that we may be grounded in ritual, grounded in community, grounded in a divine understanding that things are working for our good. This grounding gives us the power, the strength, and the ability and the flexibility to, when the storm blows us, bend, knowing that it is always better to bend than it is to break, ashe. And to the open sky above us, this place of formless substance, this ether, this no thing, this thing that we see that if you look around you right now dominates every space you are in. There's more no thing than the some things. And yet from those no thing, from that no thing, all of the things emerge. It reminds us to take time to allow our minds to soar, to wonder as they wander, in the words of Langston Hughes, and to do something, to create something in our purpose today that manifests something good, ashe. And the 7th direction, the Grand Central Station where all roads come together, the place of Ma'at. It is the place of the heart. May the work that you do, may the recognitions that you have, may the words that emerge from your mouth, may the people that you encounter testify to the fact that you will move through this world in love and that we get an opportunity to live. And if you got an opportunity to live today, you might as well match it with an opportunity to love. So may your heart always be as light as a feather, and may you present that when anyone encounters you. Ashe. We now pour to the names of those we want to honor today. We had a wonderful opportunity to recognize some souls that have transitioned into life after life. We send a libation to the family of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. We know that there was a tragedy that happened there going on the boat with people who are supposed to be your friends. We also know that that is a cautionary tale for those of us who have family members and friends, that as his family is getting peace and justice, as that is moving through our system, we know that these are lessons that we learn about surrounding ourselves in community and listening to our hearts and making sure that we have no person ever left behind. So to the spirit that is now eternal, Brother Nolan Wells, we pour Ashe. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to memorialize our auntie, Lady Kenitha's auntie, who was a powerhouse. It was a powerhouse full of people there in Chicago, Illinois. We had an opportunity to gather and shout out to the family there for the energy of Lydia Davis Eady. Ashe. Great to hear the stories, Lady Kenitha, of her working for 20 years in Johnson Publishing and Ebony Magazine and Jet Magazine, and meeting and working with Nelson Mandela, and to Matthew and Andrew, her sons who are still here, Brother Jacques, to everyone who is there. Brother Chat Daddy, Art Sims, wonderful famous publicist and media personality, all of the people who are keeping her memory alive through the work that she did in the great city of Chicago and the globe. We say Ashe to you in this memory. We invite you now to call aloud the names of those you want to remember in this moment as we pour these next few pours of water. And the three chimes for the children in the world, for those in the womb and those yet unborn. We say together, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe-o. It is done, and so it is. Good morning, Infinity. I am saying welcome to the crew who is here, to our people who are already online, to you, our first timers. I'm going to welcome you in a moment. I'm sure you're saying, if you have just arrived at Infinity, what kind of place is this? What do they practice? How do you get all of these people together? What are these different faith traditions converging in the path of spirituality? What is this energy? Well, we call it SNAP. And to bring us what SNAP is and our statement of infinitude, we go to Sister Alicia Reynolds, who is going to light up the screen with her powerful energy, one of our voices of infinity, one of our talented executives here at Infinity Fellowship, who's going to bring us our statement of infinitude. Good morning, Sister Alicia.
Good morning, and good morning, Infinity, and welcome to the Infinity Experience. Please pause for a moment here, take a deep breath, and come to understand two things. One, we don't tell you what to call or how to define the God of your own personal acceptance and understanding. That is an intensely personal and beautiful relationship. Here at Infinity, we affirm your unique connection. Whatever you call that source energy, you'll hear us say God interchangeably with the universe, the God of your acceptance and understanding, divine source. What you see when you look in the mirror is proof that it was showing off when you were created after the same image and likeness. It's time to speak aloud the core agreements that bring us together at the Infinity Fellowship. We call that infinitude. Infinitude is defined in the dictionary as the state or quality of being infinite or having no limit. We have a unique mix of faith backgrounds at Infinity, but what centers us is the spirituality we all share in common. For us, infinitude as defined as infinity with an attitude. And that attitude is gratitude. And the snap you just heard is the spiritual practice that gives us life and meaning. The S is for spirituality that transcends religion and connects you to the God of your own understanding. The N is for nurturing of ourselves and others, mind, body, and spirit. The A is for action, because we take action on our callings and walk in our divine purpose every day. Finally, the P is the proof that our spiritual practices manifest fruit in our lives through the building and maintaining of healthy and prosperous families, relationships, careers, and dreams. We are grateful that you all are here as unique manifestations of our Creator, the loving, living spirit of our commonality, the divine source of all creation, perceived by many names, yet known by only one energy. And now I invite you to read along with us here on our infinite stream as Spirit moves you. We agree that we are beings of pure, eternal spirit, birthed from the creative potential of the universe with all the powers of the Creator inherent within us. We embrace the innate goodness of humankind and an abundant creation that provides for us through the seeds that we plant in our everyday lives. We acknowledge that who we are is housed in a temporary biological organism, and as such, it is our responsibility to take care of it because it will only last for a precious window of time. As we nurture ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, we commit to provide like acts of nurturing for our fellow brothers and sisters of the world we live in, embracing all, regardless of religious faith, skin color, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic background. All are truly welcome at Infinity. We agree and accept that various religions exist as a unique opportunity for humanity to get to know one another through meaningful conversations that seek to explore the core concepts we share in common. It is the application of ancient wisdom, scientific discovery, and spiritual practices, both physical and metaphysical, that will lead us closer together as a human family. We commit to exist now and ever as a beloved community. Let it be so, according to the many ancient terms of affirmation. Amen, Amin, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, and Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Thank you, Sister Alicia. You know, we got so many talented people here at Infinity. I can't wait for you to meet some of the people that you see on the screen when you come and see us in person on First Sundays. You meet them every week. This is truly a loving community that is open for all. Look, I like to say Infinity is a community that is open to everybody. It may not be for everybody, but to our first-time visitors, we are glad you are here. Good morning. My name is Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr. I go by Rev Jeff in this sacred spiritual space. And this is the time, this is the moment where we get to gratefully welcome our first-time visitors. We're seeing you in the chat. We know you're there. We are hearing and feeling your energy. We've been told that you've been invited to Infinity by someone who absolutely and positively loves you. So welcome to Infinity today, y'all. We are excited that you decided to join us for Sunday service. We want you to do one thing. Let us know that you're a first-timer by saying first time in the chat. We are virtual on third Sunday. And so this is how we get to know who you are And what I'm going to do now is put a beautiful slide on the screen that captures the energy of the Infinity Fellowship. And that slide has a beautiful quick response code on it. All you got to do is hold your phone up to that code and scan that QR code, go to the site there and fill out that brief form. That form will allow us to get a little information on you, and we can then send you a welcome note. When you show up in person, we can then give you a special gift that we love to give you. Also in the chat there, if you're a first-time visitor at Infinity, as it says, we'd love to connect with you. Click on that link. It will take you directly to our collection form where we get an opportunity to just simply say hello. We do not spam you. We do not send you a bunch of extraneous and weird emails. We don't add you to political lists. You will not get texts from people talking about, hey, we've got to defeat the world and we need your assistance. You will not get that data from Infinity Fellowship. This is a spiritual place, and it comes from my background. When I'm in the ground game and politics, I think it was absolutely immoral for you to attend a wonderful event, have a nice cup of coffee or a drink, and in the next 6 months, you're getting spammed by somebody who bought your information from somebody else. So we value your privacy here at Infinity, and we'd love to send you that. So take your moment, fill out that form. Don't wait. And if you wait until later in service because you say, well, Rev, either I'm going to choose to do the visitors form or I'm going to choose to absorb the service, and then do the visitors form at the end. We'll put it back up for you a little bit later. But we'd like to let you know that we see exactly who, what, where, when, and why you are at the Infinity Fellowship. We extend to you the greetings of peace, wonderful peace. And when we extend these greetings to you in that manner, we let you know that we see you not as a human being who showed up to have a spiritual experience today, but you know it's the other way around. You're a spirit that's navigating the human experience just like the rest of us. I invite you to take a deep breath in this moment with me. Exhale and just release it. And I want you to see in your mind's eye that there are people all over the world. There are people in Belgium, there are people in the Bahamas, there are people in Rwanda, there are people in South Africa, there are people in Europe, there are people in Canada, there are people in Texas, in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Georgia, in California, who are looking at you right now, who are surrounding you with the vibrational frequency of love, and they are saying with me the greeting that we say to our first timers every single time we get a chance to say hello. And I say, I see you, but you don't hear me though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit. You're more than what's on the outside. You are a gift to me and to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here on this screen with me where I can let you know, if nobody else will, that you are not alone, that I am with you, that we are with you, and you are at home. I see when you are. You're in the right now, my friend. You're so much more than your yesterday. I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, and to celebrate your divine destiny. I know all this because I'm here to do the same thing. And we're going to help each other out. I know the real you, and I see you shining today. So welcome to Infinity. Welcome home. Ashe-o, thunderous applause from around the world. Thunderous music is that. Do we have some of that dance music again, Carr? Can you find it? Is it just going to be hard for me to find right now because I feel like dancing when we welcome our first-time visitors into the world just for a second. If I step on out, Smooch, you're going to have to catch me because I don't know where I might go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to step on out. I'm going to step on out. I'm going to step on out. There again. Hey, I drove, to Chicago. I came back from Chicago. Hey, I went to Indianapolis. I went to the South Side. Hey, I've been out on the road for just 2 days. I didn't know which way I was gonna say. Hey, but I'm safe and sound, still around. Hey, nobody can dump me down. I said, hey, hey, hey. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I was about to hit that. Y'all, hey, look, I'm just telling y'all right now that I got every song in my heart. When you're in the middle of the night and you see a sign when you come in on the Kentucky line after you've been through 2 states already, you see a sign that says, for the next few miles, it's going to be dark and you're going to be going over a bridge. And the opening is going to be 10 foot 6 inches. And there's walls that are 8 feet tall, and you feel like you're in a tunnel in a video game. And all you got to do is just breathe and keep on going. And you look around, and everybody in the van is knocked on out. You realize that it's just you and the Lord. You start saying, you brought me from a mighty long way. You just start singing all the gospel songs you know. And it was beautiful. But we are glad that we were able to make that trek and to be supportive of family. That's what it's about. I'm here to tell you, though, that as we come to a space of community, that it is always good to have some place to come back home to. You know, there's no place like home, y'all. There's absolutely no place like home. This is time for us to begin to prepare our hearts for our giving at Infinity Fellowship. We have thunderous applause going on all over the globe because this is when we have the opportunity to give back to the place where we receive our spiritual food. And when we talk about that, there was a song that came up this morning about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was driving, and I just crossed over into Tennessee, and there was a song, Lord, lead me day by day in a pure and perfect way. I want to live on in a building not made by man's hands. When we think about that, we tend to think that this is something ethereal. And I realize that what you're looking at, what you're experiencing in Infinity Fellowship in this offertory period, what you're experiencing is a building not made by man's hands. Take a deep breath on that one. Exhale and release. So as we prepare ourselves, I know some of you are remembering. Y'all are saying, no, wait a minute. I remember when the carpenters broke this wood out and put it on the wall. Listen, this building, these cameras, this microphone, they were constructed by human hands, but they were made by spirit. Everything that you see, everything that you feel emerged from spirit. It emerged from the power of thought. It emerged from people like you who decided to be co-creators in the universe. We are here. We have a home to come back to because we are a community of people who recognize that every single gift we have been given is something that we can never repay. So as we prepare our hearts to give today, I want you to give from that space. Whether you give via tithes, 10% of what you come in, it comes into your home, back into the spiritual food center where we have this, or offering in your hearts where you are moved to give something. Maybe it's something today, maybe it's above and beyond, maybe it's a contribution or a donation. Maybe you have seen this place and you say, you know what? This is powerful to me and for me. It affirms and confirms that there's something deeper that is not made by human hands. Welcome to Infinity. Welcome to our offertory period, y'all. You can give via Cash App. You can give via PayPal. You can give via international PayPal. So those of you who are around the globe, simply put our email address in, infinitynashville@gmail.com. We've got a slide for this too. Whatever you decide to do, even if you mail your check in, we appreciate it when we you send something to our lockbox and we get it because every bit helps us to continue to be this growing, powerful spiritual community. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being a place that makes it so that when you're on the road through the highways and byways, you can't wait to get back to the well that refreshes your spirit. And I know that if it's done that for me, it's done that for you. So let's come together in this moment around our offertory affirmation, and let us say these words not in rote memorization, but in deep and profound understanding that the power of words is the power of co-creation and co-consciousness with the Creator, no matter what you call that divine source. That when we speak things with intentionality, we bring them into existence. So let us go to our offertory affirmation. Take a deep, intentional breath. Exhale and release. And let us say it together. Limitless, abundant Creator, source of everything I possess, you have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference. And so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken, and so it is. Y'all, everything is good. Let's say it. Lady Kanitha Carr, fresh off that hall, held it down, y'all. She's telling us everything is good. Everything is good. Come on. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good, and I've got it. I've got it, oh, I've got it good.
Hey, yeah, hey.
Everything is good.
Yeah.
Everything is good.
Yes, it is.
Everything is good.
Oh,
Everything is good, and I've got it. I've got it, oh, I've got it good.
Hey, everything
is good. Everything is good.
Yes, it is.
Everything is good.
Oh,
Everything is good, and I've got it. I've got it, oh, I've got it good. Hey.
Come on, remind yourself.
Everything is good.
Yes.
Everything is good.
Yes, it is.
Everything is good.
Oh,
Everything is good, and I've got it. Yeah, we got it good.
I've got
Come on, y'all.
it. Oh, I've got it good.
Make that contribution and then say something in the chat to somebody.
Everything is good.
Can you let us know
Everything is good.
that everything is good?
Everything is good.
Everything is good.
Oh, everything is
Hey.
good, and I've got it.
I've got it.
I've got it. Oh, I've got it good.
Hey, back and forth, back and forth, back and
Remind
forth.
yourself Everything is good. Everything is good. Yeah.
Everything is good. Yeah.
Oh, everything is good, and I've got it.
I've got it.
I've got it. Oh, I've got it good.
I've got it
I've
good.
got it good. I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Oh, yeah. Remind yourself.
I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it. Good. Yes, Lady Kanitha. Thank you. Huh? That note didn't want to come out. That note came out. It came out beautiful. It came out beautiful. It came out absolutely beautiful. Before we go to today's meditation, we want to prepare our hearts and minds to let you know that if you have a standing ovation is something that you want to share with the community here that has happened for you as a result of your spiritual practice. We know you've been working. You've been working on practicing spirituality, practicing nurturing of yourself and others, practicing taking action, and now you're seeing the proof. Something has happened. It's been a promotion. It's been a new opportunity. It's been a new frame of mind. It's been something that you have desired for a while, and now you get to see it. That's a standing ovation, and we want to celebrate that for you in the next little while after our download. So here's your early warning. to go ahead and get that in. You can put the link in. Right now, there's a link in the chat that you can have that you're there. And you also can get it right here on the screen, right here on this QR code. When you go right there, it's going to tell you, ask you a question, rather, what your standing ovation is. So we ask you to put that in there so we can recognize that by the end of today's service. Ashe, ashe. It is done. It is time for us to prepare our hearts and minds for today's spiritual download. It's beautiful because we get an opportunity to interact with you today. It's third Sunday. If Teaches, we're going to be teaching a powerful lesson today. And to prepare our hearts and minds for it, we invite you to absorb today's meditation. And for that, we're going to our Infinite Life Stream team. We're going to Sister Christy Sharp, who is going to bring us today's meditation. Ashe.
Ashe. Good morning, Rev Jeff. Good morning, Infinity. This month's theme, It's My Up, calls us to take ownership of our spiritual path and divine assignment. Yes. In alignment with this, as we prepare for this morning download and dialogue, today's meditation comes to us from the ancient texts, teachings of Ptah Hotep, a committed scripture that is over 4,000 years old, and it advises us in Maxima 1. Do not be arrogant because of your knowledge, but confer with the ignorant man as with the learned. For knowledge has no limits, and none has yet achieved perfection in it. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So it is spoken, so it is received, and so it is. Now let us open our hearts and mind for today's download from Rev Jeff. I encourage you to take note and to join us at the conclusion for a brief Q&A. And if you have questions, comments, or observations along the way, drop them in the chat, and we will be delighted to interact with you in real time. So now let us turn to Rev Jeff. And so it is, Ashe.
Oh, as we prepare ourselves in this moment for today's download, thank you, Sister Christy. You know, when I think about the teachings of Ptah Hotep, this ancient knowledge. When we get ancient knowledge, we tend to get arrogant because knowledge is a commodity. When you get a certain amount of knowledge or information, when it becomes knowledge, we tend to like to parse that out. We like to charge for it. We like to have exclusivity. And sometimes that can go to our heads. And yet, there's an elder sitting on a corner who may have never been to college, who may have never finished high school, but has lived 70, 80, 90 years of experience. And they have more inside their earth suit and the top of the crown of their head than people who have 2 or 3 PhDs in their 30s. And yet they're not arrogant. We walk by these libraries every single day, never knowing that we missed an opportunity to unpack, an opportunity to grow, and an opportunity to learn. So Spirit wants us in this moment to embrace an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to grow. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release. Place your hands over your heart. Divine Source, as we invite our energy together today, as we invite you into our conscious awareness so that you can be unleashed in today's message, that you can be unleashed for healing, that you can be acknowledged for all of the good, we speak that something is said or shared or discovered or aha'd or snapped through that reminds us that we are constantly and ever loved, protected, guided by you. It is done, and so it is. Y'all, look, I want to tell you something. The universe has you. If you ever thought that you were out there by yourself, no, the universe has you, and the universe is wrapping you in a powerful way in its love. That you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to perform anything to receive this love. I know that might be contradictory to what many of you have heard, that you have to go and do a number of tasks to be loved. You don't. You just have to be. You came to this world on a divine assignment, and as a result, you are here to learn, to expand, to grow. You get to be a participant, a co-participant in your life. How great is that? This whole month, we have been in a plane of conscious awareness. And that plane of conscious awareness is around saying, it's my up, going back to when the barbershop days were first introduced to you, when the beauty shop days were first introduced to you, before the appointment calendars, when you had to stand and say, it's my time to get into this chair. And when I get into this chair, I get to request that which I desire, and the master shaper of my head, of my ori, will give me every single thing. Here's where the assignment happened before you got here, my friend. It happened before you got here. That is why you are here. That is why you are here, as a unique and very specific manifestation of God's creation. Because you got the contract to come down to this earth in this body and to do something awesome. And then you were given regenerative powers. The old saying said, once a man, twice a child. Once a woman, twice a child. You see a baby, and the baby's little, and the baby doesn't really know much, and then you're able to grow and regenerate your cells, and then eventually you revert to almost a childlike state. But during that time of opportunity, from when you entered this world through the womb of your mother to when you exit and go back into the womb of the earth, that space in between born and transition, that space in between, that dash in between that is on the marker of your earthly body. When you go through the cemetery, we see that dash in between, that from to. That dash is all you got. Somebody breathe in and exhale. Say, that's what I got. In my chat, say, that's all I got. That's all I got. Now, we can spend our time being arrogant about God. We can spend our time claiming that we are God's favorite. We can spend our time fighting over who daddy or who mama loves us the most, and who is the favorite sibling, who is the seed of Abraham and who isn't, who is blessed with new thought or old thought or right now in this moment thought, which is the most important thread of Ifa cosmology, which is the most authentic tradition of Akan. We can spend all of our time arrogantly unpacking this, and it distracts us from self-interrogation, because self-interrogation allows us to accept what we want when it's our time to sit in this chair. I don't want you to be fearful of unpacking things, because you're gifted with regeneration in spirit. The cells of your body continue to regenerate. In your stomach, in your intestines, it takes 3 to 5 days. And in that 3 to 5 day cycle, every cell in your stomach and intestines is rejuvenated. Your skin, between 2 and 4 weeks, your epidermal layer is regenerated. There is new skin because the old skin is falling off. Hopefully when you take a shower and you got a good wash rag, you're seeing something come off on that wash rag. When I was coming up, they told you to make sure you scrub until you see something. And when you shower or when you bathe, there's a ring in the bathtub. You ain't getting out of the tub unless there's a ring. And somebody's saying, well, I didn't have rings when I take a bath. You might not be scrubbing hard enough, because your skin cells need to be discarded. And when they are discarded, your skin looks better. It feels better, because you are being brought into the world brand new. Everything about you is recycled. Everything about you is coming to alive. In 120 days, your red blood cells are all recycled and brought back to life. Your liver in 10 to 16 months, everything about you is being rejuvenated. So when you get out of that tub and there's a ring, yeah, you need to say, I did that. And then you need to go get you some Ajax or some bleach, and you need to clean that bathtub. Because in the end, even when you were going through a regenerative process, you left some residue. And that's why today's message is clean up what I messed up. That's the slide that you see on the screen right now. Clean up what I messed up. Take a deep breath. Exhale. See, when we change ourselves, when we go through change, there's always some residue. Type that in the chat. Change leaves residue. Just like when you change yourself by removing the dead skin cells, there's residue in the tub that you get to clean up. That residue happens when you change and transform and move yourself to the next level. Now, you know, once you take a bath, once you clean yourself and rinse yourself, you get up and step out of the bath. You know what happens if you stay in the dirty water? You stay dirty. This is why when you transform, when you change, people who you change from and change out in your life don't like to see you step out of the dirty tub because they want you to stay in it because that's where they are. Take a deep breath on that one. Exhale. Have you ever wanted to make a change in your life and you used to go out with people and party a certain kind of way? You ever wanted to make a change in your life and you used to diminish yourself and make yourself small so that you could fit with other people and not make them feel uncomfortable? Have you ever decided to make a change in your life and you said, listen, those things that I used to do when I was in a lower vibratory space, they just don't appeal to me. I am looking for something higher. That's when the litmus test of transformation takes place. That's when the universe sends you someone who says, I'm with you on that. I love you in that. I see you shining on that. Let me pat you on the back. Let me elbow you. Let me give you a high five, low five. Let me give you a fist bump. That's the confirmation coming from the universe. But what you also will get is, who do they think they are? You too good for us now? Who you think you're supposed to be? I'm sorry, Miss Deep. I'm sorry I'm not as smart as you. I'm sorry I don't like to read everything you like to read. I'm so sorry you're doing your ohms and your shantis and your yoga poses and your tree and all that stuff. It must be nice to have all of that deep stuff. That's the universe telling you that there's that residual that you checked, that you stepped out of. That's the universe telling you, look at what it's like if you stay in the tub too long. Because if you are changing, if you are transforming, if you are elevating yourself to the next level, the universe is cheering for you. So the people, places, things, and ideas around you should cheer for you the same. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And if they don't, it's all right. Don't go home. Don't be mad. Don't be like, they just don't get me. Why can't they get where I am? Why can't they get on my level? That's not for you to decide. What you are here to do is to move into your highest calling. There was an old song that used to be sung by the Canton Spirituals. Reverend Johnny Sadler down there in Mississippi might know this song. It's I clean up what I messed up, and I start my life over again. A little bit later, I'm going to get my ladies to help me sing that by the end of the download after our Q&A. We're going to sing a little bit of that. I'm going to have y'all, people who are at home, y'all going to hum that with us. There's something about that tune. But I cleaned up what I messed up. Start my life over again. Giving y'all a preview so y'all can check that out. But I cleaned up, which is an act of making a place clean. It is tidying up something. But a second definition of cleanup is an act of removing or putting an end to disorder, immorality, or a crime. You might have committed a crime against your own humanity. And it's time to clean up what you messed up. That means that you spent a number of days, a number of moments, a number of seconds vibrating at a lower frequency, thinking that the world was against you, thinking that everybody is stacked up against you, thinking that everything in your life is going wrong, and it is time to arrest those thoughts and to clean up what you messed up. You messed up when you fell down into that dirty tub of thinking. But now it's time to scrub that tub clean. And it's time to put in the effort to align yourself with the universe. It's time to clean away the old thinking, because just as your cells rejuvenate in your body, you get the opportunity to walk in a new mindset right now. Welcome to the tub. Inhale. Exhale. First point that I want to give you, that I want you to meditate on, that I want you to write down, that I want you to put in the chat, that if you're going to be dialoguing in a minute, you can give feedback in and feedback on, is that cleaning up begins with cleaning out. Cleaning up begins with clearing out. Clearing out. Cleaning up, clearing out. N and R. One little difference there. So when you clean up, you clear out, and this will not always be embraced. The example that I gave you is that when you begin to clear up, when you begin to clean up your vibrational frequency, it is not always embraced. Because when you begin to be a being of light, you begin to attract other beings of light. And you begin to repel beings of darkness. God, I thank you in this moment that you give us an innate litmus test, that when I decide to not be judgmental, when I decide to love everyone, when I decide to forgive myself for the mistakes that I made in the past, that were learning lessons, that when I so decide to also forgive others, that when I decide to be a spirit of giving and not a spirit of taking, that I decide that all things are working together, I proclaim in this moment that I am grateful, that I recognize when my spirit is being amplified, and that I do not judge it when other people don't get it. So this is when it gets dangerous, when we experience enlightenment. Enlightenment should show itself in your actions and not your words that pronounce and promote arrogance. Enlightenment ain't supposed to make you walk around and tell everybody how right you are and feel sorry for them for not being as smart as you. I want you to think about it, because it's easy to go into that place. I came out of a religious experience, and the religious experience was, we're right. We go into an environment and we make sure that we take care of everybody else because we don't want them to go to hell. We don't want them to be damned. It is our job to save everybody, even when my own life is falling apart. My job to save everybody, even when I am inconsistent, even when I'm sitting in dirty water, even when I can't seem to find hope in this world, even when I'm depressed. I am going to focus on making sure everybody else is saved. Salvation begins inside with our actions and embracing the concept of cleaning up by clearing out the doubt, clearing out the unsurety, clearing out the fear that there won't be something to replace those old rules that made you check off a list to say, I am doing religion right. I am doing spirituality right. I am doing education right. No, it is an internal checklist, and it is a checklist of alignment. And when you clear out the need to think that something is coming externally to save you, and you recognize that everything that you need is already inside you, and that education, knowledge from the root gnosis to bring without from within, that every single expansive thought you have is aligning you with the God of your acceptance and understanding, and God is loving you simply because you are here breathing on this earth. God loved the world and sent it you. It sent us to change ourselves and our circumstance. So as we move through this vibration, the first step we have to do is clear out all of those negative thoughts that make us helpless, that make us spineless, that make us weak, that make us victims. Clear it out. Inhale. Exhale and just clear it out. Next thing I want you to do is set your goal post. Somebody put that in the chat. Set your goal post. Let me help y'all for those of you who aren't football fans, or for those who might be casual observers of the game. When you score an extra point or a field goal, the goal post is set. And the goal post is set there so that the kicker can line up and score a point with his foot. We just got off the World Cup. And so when I say football, I mean American football. The world football is soccer. But when you're getting that, you're getting it in there. You can still see the soccer goal if you're a FIFA person and you're going to be watching the World Cup today. Whatever it is, there is a goal that is there. In soccer, it is a box. In football, it is two uprights. Have you ever heard somebody say, people keep moving the goalposts? And you're like, what do they mean by that? It means that when you line up to kick the ball and they hike it to you and you have lined your sights up on that goal and you kick it straight, and as soon as that ball leaves that ground, somebody moves the goalpost 10 feet to the right and then blame you for missing it. See, some of you have had goalposts moved in your life. When we're talking about the work environment, those of you who are my corporate friends, we talk about key performance indicators. We talk about performance reviews, and they give you a list of things to check off that say, here's what you do, and if you do this, you will be able to move through the corporate industrial complex and then be promoted so that you can one day reach the C-suite. There is nothing more frustrating than getting to your performance review and seeing that you have hit your KPIs, see that you've hit your key performance indicators, and they find an excuse to not elevate you and not give you an opportunity, because as soon as you hit your KPIs, they move the goalpost. And there's nothing more frustrating than having someone move the goalpost. If you've had that feeling in life, if you felt like, if I just got to this level of understanding in my spirituality, if I just got to this level of understanding in my relationship, if I just showed up and did whatever the people here wanted me to do, I would be all right, and they moved the goalpost, it is because you allowed external circumstances to set the goalpost instead of setting the goals according to your purpose. Take a deep breath. Somebody say, set the goalpost. See, when you're here on this earth and you're in touch with your divine purpose is your goalpost. And when you set your divine purpose, that is a contract between you and God. When it is a contract between you and God, between you and your ancestors, you ain't thinking about anybody moving the goalpost, because you recognize that they don't have the power to move it anyway. Unless you're playing on their field. You see, when you're trying to play on somebody else's field, they got the right to move the goalpost anytime they want to. It's their land. It's their goalpost. It's their referees. It's their home court advantage. And you're frustrated because they keep doing everything to stop you from winning. Even when you're in your own life, you miss a kick every now and then. Do y'all know what makes a great kicker great? because they can nail it in the clutch because they keep their eyes on the goalpost. You recognize that you have a home court advantage. You might be that kicker who missed 3 field goals in a row. And every fan in the stadium, every armchair quarterback is saying, why is this person in this league? This person has been here for 10 years, 15 years, and they have the nerve to miss 3 field goals in one game. And then it comes down to 2 seconds left. And that person steps on the field. And even the home fans might be booing or silent. But something about that great kicker knows that he got on that field with 2 seconds left, and everybody held their breath the minute something said hut and got set, and you saw that set happen, and you saw that foot hit that ball, and you saw it go up, and you were holding your breath, and all of a sudden it went straight through the uprights, and there was mayhem everywhere. And you thought that it was luck. No. It was because it was a windy day. And those first 3 attempts taught that kicker where the winds were going. And every time that kicker got on the field, that kicker learned something new. That's the difference between a great kicker and a kicker who won't be around long. The great kicker sees an opportunity and says, hey, I missed it that time, but I'm trying it again. And if I missed it that time, I'm learning something new. And if I missed it the other time, I figured out every single angle. Put me in, coach. I got this at the end of the game when it matters, when the win is on the line. So when the win is on the line today for you, when you have an opportunity to go in and reassess and to tidy up, that kicker is saying, I got to clean up what I messed up. And this kick is starting my life all over again. So when he's hoisted on his teammates' arms and when he's put in the NFL Hall of Fame for that kick that won the Super Bowl, wherever it may be, the national championship, the victory is what is remembered and not the series of losses that are really lessons. Deep breath in. Exhale. Third thing I'm going to give you is this. Then I'm going to put us all to work. Y'all ready to work today? Y'all ready to work in the chat? Y'all ready to work today? I hope y'all ready to work. Now, I hope y'all ready to work. We're a little bit early today. We didn't go super long today because Spirit wants us to do some work together today. And this is going to be beautiful work. It's going to start right now, and it's going to continue not just today, not just tonight, not just this week, but for the rest of your natural born life. Because just like your liver cells, just like your skin cells, just like your brain cells, everything rejuvenates and changes. We're going to keep bathing and cleaning the water. We're going to keep going there back and forth until we get this thing in alignment with our divine purpose. And then we're going to keep checking ourselves so we can stay in alignment with our divine purpose. Oh, ain't it beautiful? Here's what I want to give you, that you have to choose the tool for the task. Put that in the chat. Choose the tool for the task. Smooch, if you go to the next slide for me. Choose the tool for the task. Take it back a slide. Yeah, take it back. Keep it on the slides. Because I want to show how we remove the word. So go ahead and go to the next slide. This is the slide that we've been using this month. Everything is about your up. You clean up what you messed up today. Last week it was break up to make up. First Sunday, it's my up. But we're always headed up. So when we go, keep coming. Smooch, come back on the slide, baby. Go to the next one, y'all. I want y'all to see that. Go to the next one. I'm taking the words off. There we go. These are 3 opportunities to see tools. In the center, the barber has a tool. And the barber uses different tools. Ain't that right, Josh? Josh knows. Josh knows about giving a haircut. The barber may use scissors to get a particular look. The barber may use clippers to do a fade. The barber may use an edger. in order to make sure that the edges are tight. In other words, the master barber who is working on a head is using different tools to achieve different things. You need to develop a toolkit to assist you with making sure you do what you need to do in life to stay in alignment with your divine purpose. Even if you get out of the tub and you think, well, I can just wipe off that ring with with some tissue paper, that ain't an effective tool. Even if I just spray it down and hit it with water, that's not an effective tool. You learn whether you like scrubbing or the white removers or the certain kind of, you get the right tools for the right task. That's the barber. The barber can look at your head and say, this person needs a specific set of tools to achieve the outcome that they desire. The universe is doing the same things for you. That's why you were gifted with the specific tools that you have. Some of you are speakers. Some of you are teachers. Some of you are singers. Some of you are creatives. Some of you are healers. Some of you are visionaries. Some of you are nurturers. Some of you are builders with your hands. Some of you are deep thinkers. Some of you are philosophers. Some of you are professors. Some of you are truck drivers. Some of you are people who take care of the grass. Whatever your calling is, when you do it in alignment, you are using your tools to live the life that you desire to help yourself and to help others. Back to the slide. When you look to this energy of the baby on the right, this is the baptism that happens in many traditions when a fresh baby comes out. The tool is a pitcher. The tool is water because water is life. The water symbolizes the cleansing in this world with cool water in the Yoruba tradition, omi tutu. This concept that fresh, cool water cleanses everything. See, that baby spent 9 months in amniotic fluid, breathing water. Came out into this world, so the water reconnecting is a reminder of where we emerged from. Always placing water on our head, always reminding ourselves to pour life into one another. When you look to the image on your left, this is an image that has been up all month. Shout out to Tyrell, Tashana, because they always looking in the background on images. Rev, what is that on the background? I was like, okay, y'all, yeah, we got you. They're already operating in that alignment space. But if you look at this, this is one of many reliefs that you find all over ancient Egypt or Kemet, if we're being knowledgeable and flexing our knowledge. It is a baptism of a pharaoh. And the figures on the left and right that are not fully zoomed out, they may actually be either Ma'at, which is balance, or Anubis, which is the transition from life to a life after life. This particular relief is from Pharaoh Amenhotep, which means Amun is pleased. Amun is at peace. God is at peace. There is this baptism, this anointing, if you will, with water. This is one of the original times that baptism with water appears thousands of years ago. But if you'll note the water, it is formed in the shape of an ankh. The ankh is the symbol of life. So from a place of balance, truth and justice on one side, the navigation of life and life after life on the other, both pouring life over the Pharaoh as a leader. So I want you to see yourselves and see that the universe is cleaning up what you messed up, because you can't get clean without some liquid. I don't care if it's even in a baby wipe, there's some liquid there, because there's a chemical reaction that takes place. When you wade in the water, as the elders used to say, you go down into the water and you are baptized. The baptism itself has no power. It is simply symbolic. You could get baptized in a water where 2 miles up the river, they're dumping chemicals in it. It's not about the clarity of the water at that point. It is about the symbolism of being submerged, of seeing yourself in a circumstance where you say, I don't want to live like this anymore. I will submerge myself in water, come back up, born anew. just like that baby, just like you were submerged in water, then you emerged into the world. So when we go back into the water, when we wade into the water, we are saying we are reborn again. That's why you feel good when you get out of the tub. That's when you feel good when you get out of the shower. That is when you feel good when you hop out of the swimming pool. That is when you feel good when you come out of the sweat lodge. This is why, because water is transformative. It is symbolic of life, and it gives you an opportunity to clean up what you messed up. But you've got to use the tool with the proper perspective, because a tool does not prevent problems from appearing in your life, but it gives you what you need to fix them. That's all a tool is. And when you see a 5/8 inch a nut in a piece of wood that needs turning, and you ask somebody for a tool and they give you a hammer, don't work with that person ever again. Work with the person who says, that looks like a 5/8 inch. Here's what you need to turn that screw. So when we're in this place of transformation, I'm going to encourage you today, as I move toward this close and this dialogue, to take the tools that we have given today, these tools of setting your goalposts, these tools of playing in your own atmosphere as a co-creator with God, these tools of staying steadfast, these tools of staying joyful, the tool of practicing gratitude every day, the tool of getting on your knees or your prayer posture every day, the tool of breathing so that you can reset everything that is challenging you in circumstance and understand that your purpose outlasts the circumstance. When you accept these tools, you begin to grow, because you decide that you're going to clean up what you messed up. And that's responsibility. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to give you an exercise to work through in real time. It's okay to mess up. I know it's hard. You thought that the universe wants you to be perfect. You thought that because you got into tree pose and fell over that something is wrong with you. You thought that because you used to be more flexible than you are right now, that somehow you messed up. And it's okay, because we know that practice is a quest for perfection. That just like in a yoga atmosphere, in a yoga sphere, so to speak, that it is the practice itself that builds character, and not thinking that you need to be perfect. It is the messing up that is telling you that you are one step closer to learning and getting better. So you got to say, hey, I messed up. Sometimes you mess up. Anybody ever said that? You know, I ain't going to ask you to be bold. Yeah, that's a lie. I'm going to ask you to be bold. If you messed up anything once, just say I messed up before in the chat. Go ahead. Tell me. My people coming back to dialogue with me in a minute. But I know, because I messed up stuff. I didn't know. Sometimes you mess up stuff inadvertently. You don't know that you said something that triggered something from somebody. They've been carrying something 20 years. It had nothing to do with you, but you didn't know. And then when you knew better, you what? Did better. And then, even when you knew better and did better, if the person still is dealing with it and they have not resolved that, that doesn't have anything to do with you. And so you can't carry that, because you're not going to play on a field where somebody's moving the goalposts. You got your own goalposts to seek for and to shoot for. So in this space today, I want you to create in your mind a few columns. And as I take my seat here and prepare to bring some folks into the room, I'm going to get you to write these 3 columns, and to write it without judgment. What I messed up, what was the role I played in it, second column. I know I hear some moans. That means, Lord, Rev, why you got us doing work? You're supposed to come to church on Sunday and just fire us up, make us feel good, give us dopamine, oxytocin, and let us go on about our business. Not today, not at Infinity. I'm sorry, I love you too much. And this is what I'm here to do. I'm a spiritual teacher, leader, and guide. I'm not a model for perfection. because I'm a spirit navigating this human experience just like the rest of you. And yet, my gift is we get to do the real work. Because the last thing I want you to do is leave Infinity Fellowship and then go encounter somebody and drop funk nasty bombs on everybody you see. That means you didn't get anything. And as I tell you that with love, I tell you that you no longer have to do this work alone. Isn't it great to be in community? Because community puts you in a place where you say, we're going to be accountable to each other. Not accountable whip, cracking whip. You told me you're going to call me at 5 p.m. to pray and you didn't. God is going to punish you for being No, we don't do that. Accountability to say, I see you, let's go together. That's what we got here, y'all. And it's special. And the universe loves you enough to put these columns on your page. Put this column down. What I messed up? Middle column. What role did I play in it? Third column, what is the cleanup? What is the cleanup? Somebody in the chat, my people who are still with me, I know y'all are here. I see y'all, I see the screen moving, and I'm gonna get some feedback from y'all in a minute too, because life is moving on, I see it. Thank y'all. Y'all, look, people already got it. I looked in the chat. They already got column 1, column 2, column 3. That's Infinity Fellowship, baby. That's how we do it. We work together. 3 columns. What I messed up, what was my role, and what is the cleanup? When you start looking at the cleanup, I want you to be mindful that the cleanup must be within your ability to control and not depend on the actions of others. Because if you put in that column on an issue of relationship, I'm going to do everything I can to make them like me. You need to go ahead and erase that right now. Don't put that in that column. That's not what that's for. The last column is not for you to control the actions of others. They are all related to how you shape your frequency vibration under the understanding that all is working in your favor, under the divine baptism of knowing that you get an opportunity to start all over right now. That even if you're looking at this question of what I messed up, it is not a question of self-condemnation. It is a question of self-interrogation. That is a look into the rearview mirror. It is a glance so that you can see from whence you came. It is not a place to ruminate in, but it is a place to meditate in. And so as you write those things, I want you to think of 1 or 2 things that are there. And as you do it, I'm going to ask KC3, that's Kamaria, that's Kai, that's Kanitha. I want us to just hum this energy in right now. Y'all ready? I don't know what key I'm going to start in, but if you're at home, you can sing this too. As you're preparing yourself for this these columns of work that you're doing, this homework, I'm going to give it to you. Ready? Well, I clean up what I messed up. I start my life over again. Let me hear y'all. Well, I clean up what I messed up. I started my life over again. And I clean up what I messed up. One of y'all got a verse in you. And I start my life over again. Ooh. And I'm clean up. I'm gonna clean up what I messed up. I start my life over again. What the verse say? Somebody got it. What it?
I made up my mind.
Hey.
I ain't lying no more.
Hey.
'Cause a liar and a cheater
Hey.
ain't walking through the door.
Hey.
Clean up
Come on, y'all. What I messed up. Boo, doom, boo. I start my life over again. One more time. We're going to bring the folks in the room. Clean up. Boo, what I messed up. I'm starting my life over again. All right. I got a little of that growl there. Come on in the room, y'all. Our folks, we're going to bring in our people who have been on the Infinite live stream with us, participating. And I've got my little pad here to write down. If you have a question, you have a comment or observation, we're going to invite our respondents into the room. If we were in an academic circle and doing a panel, we would have our respondents in the room. And I've got some great respondents here. As soon as they pop on, we got a couple of more people in here too as well. And Alicia will bring them into the room as we are able to get them in there. Yeah, I see 1, 2, 3. I see. Okay, when Christy's put cameras on, we're gonna get her in, and anybody else who wants to get in, we'll go. Okay, we got Christy's in the room. Look, we got a great room of folks in the house today. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna ask y'all, and if you have a comment, if you're at home, if you got a question, comment, or observation, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and drop that in the chat so we can get it. On third Sunday, there's just no excuse. We do instruction in real time. We do support in real time. We do revelations in real time. So as we're cleaning up anything we messed up, we're starting our life all over again in this moment. We invite our respondents in. Comments, y'all. Question, comment, or observation. Go ahead and go first. Whoever wants to jump in, I'll go ahead and just call you out. I'll say, Tyrell, come on in the room. I'm gonna pull you into the screen magically. Turn the screen over.
Nice.
Look at that. Tyrell and Tashana looking good down there. What's going on, y'all? What are y'all cleaning up?
Peace.
And what do y'all got in your minds?
Well, it just so happens that I've been blessed with the message to start a cleaning business 3 years ago. And so I have a very,
of course, it's naturally spot on in the universe.
You already know, where I'm finna. Yeah. So, in this field, when I'm doing the first time cleans and walking through people, explaining the things that I can get ready and get prepared for their homes, folks always ask me to use a specific cleaner, and I don't want any businesses to feel left out or dissed with this. So I'll just say it rhymes with virtuoso. And this particular cleaner smells so good that everyone's like, "Oh man, can you make sure you put that in there?" And the only downside to this particular cleaner is it smells excellent, but as far as disinfecting, as far as actually cleaning a thing, it just creates a lot of suds and a lot of soap and a lot of appearance to clean things. And so I always talk them into utilizing what I use, which is a commercial cleaner that really gets down into the grit of things. And so my question is, as we lean into this understanding of cleaning up what I mess up, how do we know when we're utilizing commercial grade cleaner versus maybe a store counter cleaner, something that smells good and has the appearance of cleaning versus something that is really going to be useful in our spiritual growth?
Oh, I love it. I think, brother, that's a fabulous question. That's a fabulous question. And here's where the line is. And this is infinite wisdom. The line is not two people sitting in a store trying to decide which cleaner to purchase. Mm-hmm. Two people in an aisle at Home Depot. What do you use? Well, I like the smell of this. What do you use? Well, my mama always used to use this. That is a debate that will go back and forth ad infinitum until they look around and there's somebody coming and picking something off a shelf and they notice that he has on a shirt that says TNT Cleaning. And they say, wait, why are you choosing that one? And he said, wait a minute, what's that on your shirt? And he said, well, I'm TNT Cleaner. I'm a commercial cleaner. I'm an expert cleaner. Then they turn to him and they say, well, what do you use? The expert cleaner provides the best advice. And he is the one who said, as you have just said, one will get you the scent that you want. One will disinfect better. Choose which one you desire. So when it comes down to it, we look for expertise and we look for the fruit. And oftentimes it's easier for us, Tyrell, it's easier for us to choose that which seems to attract us aesthetically. Smells good, looks good, but basically it covers up everything and don't get anything clean. Here's where it's important, though, to walk the line between arrogance and expertise. You, as a commercial cleaner, get to tell people who are clients, okay, let's have this discussion. I know you smell. You like the smell of this. What we can do is we can come back behind it if you like that smell. Here are some options. But what we do know is this. This cleaner kills 99.9% of germs and does it effectively with no film. This one smells really good, but it has a lot of germs that can make you sick. You tell me which one you'd like me to use in your home. And you allow them to make the choice. The metaphor that Elijah Muhammad gave to Malcolm X was when you walk into a restaurant and a man has a dirty glass of water, you don't have to tell him that the glass is dirty. You put a clean glass of water down next to it. And if he's interested in drinking clean water, he will begin to notice which is clean and which is dirty. So when you're out in the world, when you're making those choices, you decide what alignment you have with effective practices that produce good fruit. And that's where, even when we're cleaning up what we're doing, when we're having conversations that are difficult, are we getting to the core, or are we just getting together and being nice? This is what happens with family. This is why family trauma is so difficult to overcome, because whether it's a wedding, funeral, or family reunion, everybody's focused on the party, but then we're wondering why cousin Cece doesn't want to sit at the table. Or why the two uncles never come inside, because there is some trauma, there are some secrets, there are things that happened that nobody unpacks and people protect. And we put on the fabuloso, we show up at the party, and then we don't talk to each other for the 2 years in between the next event. And so are we truly building family if we're not willing to say, we need to begin to have some difficult conversations that can put this commercial disinfectant in place so that when we get this cleared out, we can go on and just take a wet rag with some Fabuloso and just wipe over the top. This is how we heal. Sister Tashana, what's in your spirit? You're on that screen glowing, so we want to know.
What came up for me is just a reminder to have grace with yourself, a reminder to forgive yourself, a reminder that you may choose the wrong tool. You may think you're using the right tool for a certain situation, and it ends up making things worse, or ends up making it. I have been a licensed cosmetologist for over 10 years now, and it just reminded me of in the hair world, you may have 5 different pairs of shears used for 5 different reasons. In order for me to get to a space where I knew right off jump, looking at someone's head, what shear I was going to choose to cut their.
Was that us? I think they're frozen. We're gonna come back to y'all. I think y'all are frozen, but that's the nature of live TV. We're gonna go. Let's go to Sister Alicia. I think she's with us too, and we're gonna make sure we see if we got everybody's signal in. Oh, there's Alicia. She's there. Leslie's, we're coming back to you. Sister Alicia, what's coming through in your spirit today, sis?
Hi. Well, a couple of things. The first thing, the concept of what the cleanup will be, and how to not ruminate on things that you've messed up. I have issues with that myself, because I too came from a religious environment that like taught me to self-condemn. So I'm trying to get out of the place of constantly thinking about what I did wrong, especially when I was in those spaces and held positions of leadership and caused harm, not necessarily because I meant to, but because I was teaching what I was being taught, and now being outside of it, I feel guilt about that. And this is things that I've talked through in therapy, and my therapist constantly reminds me that, you know, I've done the best with the information I had at the time. Like, I wasn't purposely trying to hurt people. That's what I believed. And that's, you know, I've always been a very passionate person about the things that I believe and want to see happen. But now in this state of my life, I'm trying to figure out what that cleanup looks like, and how not to ruminate over the cause that the harm that I caused. So I've been doing a lot of reading and research around neuroplasticity and the power of talking to yourself and reaffirming things and stuff like that. I'm reading a book right now that helps with that. But I think it's also, all of that has also taught me to have more grace to other people when they're messing up, because the same way that I was not intending harm on people, and especially in religious spaces, now that I'm out of it and I can see there's a tendency to want to like just be really judgmental and be hard on people who are still in that space. But I'm like, hold up, sister, because you were there at one time too. So you can't, like, now in this space, I have to keep that in the forefront of my mind, and not just with religious people, but in any instance, if someone is hurting me, you know, to give them the benefit of the doubt first, you know, obviously protect yourself as needed, but to know that people aren't, I don't think most people aren't just walking around with the intention of harming people, with the intention of messing up, you know? So, yeah, those are the two. So I don't really have a question. That's just what was brought out to me through all of this.
I think those are marvelous observations. And you pointed out something that is sometimes difficult to reconcile, because it speaks to our premise. When we encounter people, we are encountering people based on the episodes of our life. If we've not worked through those episodes, we talked about last week Howard Thurman saying that each person's life is a statement, but we forget that because we get caught up in the episodes. So when we got caught up in the self-harm that we did in religious spaces, and I'm guilty of that too. I was deep in ministry. So it was my job to go and save people. And I may have been hard on people in a way that was flat out embarrassing when I look back on that. And I would say certain things that were not affirmation, they were not grace, they were condemnation. That's what it was. I was walking around thinking that I'd been given the gift that nobody else had. And when I transitioned out of that into a space of higher consciousness, what I had to make sure that I was not doing was doing the same thing. Looking back and saying, oh, yeah, the people didn't know because they didn't read about the Council of Nicaea and they didn't understand that this concept of God was created to enslave people. Listen, that's a historical fact, but it also can create a space of positionality where I'm thinking that I'm better than everyone else instead of embracing what you said, this concept of grace. What if we move into the world with the premise that everyone is operating with good intention, and that the people we encounter have good intention? Then we open ourselves up so that we can grow. The line of demarcation comes when we encounter people who refuse to let us grow or experience our growth as an attack on who they are and what they are. When I get to go back into religious environments, it's interesting because when people see me and they say, hey man, it's good to see your life is going well, that's one thing. But when people put their hand on my shoulder, they say, you know, I've been praying for you. I know you left the church and I'm hoping that you get to come back to the flock because you got this family and these beautiful children. And I'm just like, hey, hold it right there. You know, thank you for that. I appreciate it. But everything is all right. Let's have a conversation about what's for dinner tonight. Let's not talk about the other stuff. And I have to go and take a shower sometimes to cleanse myself from that energy. That's the concept that I'm talking about in this book on prayer, that people will say, I'll pray for you. But is it that you are in alignment with your purpose, or is the prayer that you will act the way I want you to act according to my whole framework of salvation? That's not prayer. That's spiritual terrorism. So I appreciate you pointing that out, because when we talk about this act of forgiveness, we also find spiritual growth, cleaning up where we messed up in acts of forgiveness, starting with ourselves. We did the best we could with the information we had at the time, and everybody else is doing the same thing. So we also might encounter people, and I'm saying this directly, we might encounter people who are our victims. And you might have to say in a conversation, hey, listen, when I was really, really in my saved phase, I said some things that were wrong. And I just hope you can forgive me for that. If you can, I understand. But I just wish good for you in the world. Life is going great for me. And I just wanted to let you know that I acknowledge that I may have caused you some harm. And I forgive you. I forgive myself for that. And I hope that you can forgive me too. Those are real conversations that bring about real healing. And while we don't fixate on those things, we do embrace opportunities for us to correct past misgivings without glossing them over. There used to be a thing that we would have happen in church when you got saved. It's like, everything is done and everything is over. Well, you still robbed somebody. You still took somebody's family member away from them. You still did some things that you need to make amends for. True healing happens when you begin to make those amends. But thank you for those observations. Those are beautiful. Spot on. I love these conversations. Reading, neuroplasticity, therapy. Welcome to Infinity, first timers. This is what we do here. All right, let's go to Christy, and then we'll come back to Tashawn. I see the faces on the screen.
Hey, Rev Jeff. Hey, everybody. Rev Jeff, my question is going back towards the beginning of the download, and thank you for the message today. It resonated with me very well. When you mentioned about how unfortunate it will not always be embraced by others. And that's something that I sometimes have conflict with, because I know I'm ready to clean up and to clear up my area, but then I have this feeling of feeling bad for saying no or not over explaining myself. And in my homework, I just wrote that down. Like, what I messed up is I would over explain.
Yeah.
And doing that, I would create this internal doubt in me. And so where I need to clean up is not to over explain, because I feel like my no should be no, because I'm clearing up. I don't have to continue to tell you why it's a no. Just leave it as a no. And so how do I not feel bad for staying in my, staying on my business? It's like Alicia was saying, you don't intend to be ugly or mean to people. You're not operating like that. It's just that you may not have the time or the strength to carry on a different assignment or a task that others are asking you to do, because you're having to keep that energy for yourself or protect your energy from others. So how do I get past that feeling bad for having to say no?
I think you can look at feeling bad. Here's a thing that I've learned. Feeling bad is a symptom of a lot of love, like you have a lot of concern for people, so you don't like to want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
But if it goes too far, it becomes codependency. And I want everybody to like me. And that's why we have to self-interrogate. What is the root of why we don't want to hurt people's feelings? Because boundary people respect other people's boundaries. When they feel comfortable saying, everyone has a boundary. So if you tell me you can't do this engagement or you can't show up for this event, oh, thank you so much for letting me know. Thank you for RSVPing no or maybe. Appreciate that. If people go beyond that, they are not people who respect boundaries. And that's where you draw the line. And if people don't respect boundaries, then you don't owe them an explanation. You don't. And if you still feel you do, that becomes a moment of self-interrogation. Why am I feeling so bad about hurting other people's feelings? The litmus test then becomes, do these people feel bad about hurting my feelings?
Okay.
Because if you're dealing with someone who is operating, going back to what Alicia was saying, with a spirit of grace, that we're giving grace and moving, that people are working in good intentions. Good intentions also encompasses respect for boundaries.
Yeah.
And so the forgiveness happens when you say, when I'm making these columns, when I'm writing these things out, forgiveness comes into the picture when you say, I'm going to forgive myself for immediately going to the people pleaser mode. And I'm going to put in place my boundaries now. And when I start getting those old feelings, now that I recognize that they came from a root of me trying to make everyone happy, I can acknowledge that and still allow myself to proclaim my boundaries. And eventually, not only will you begin to respect your boundaries, but anyone who encounters you will be able to respect them as well. And the people who love you will be able to affirm your boundaries. And instead of saying, I respect that and not talking to you, or being angry and accusing you of not liking them, they will go into the thank you for letting me know mode.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that your vibration has been matched in the frequency vibration that you desire. And it's tough. You're going to have to navigate it because, again, we want to do this work and we want to do it in the right way. It doesn't mean that it's going to always be easy. And that's what I tell people. You don't just get enlightenment. You don't get this feeling, and then you got to go into the world and deal with real world circumstances. And that's why people get discouraged. They're like, well, I got charged up on Sunday. I don't know why this isn't working. No, you just being prepared. You got everything out to do the cleaning work. But now it's time to get into the tub and get that ring off. And that's going to require a little elbow grease, as my daddy used to say.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you for that. Going back to Tashana, and she's going to get ready to give us some announcements in a minute. What's in your spirit now that computer is working good?
Oh, we will figure this out.
Five
Thank
years,
you for that
five
message.
scenarios.
Yes. Thank you for that message. I just had a quick point, and it would made me think of, as someone who has been a licensed cosmetologist for 10 plus years, what I had to learn was the tools that you use. You don't just get it and then you just know how to use it, right? So the tool that I would use to, let's say, cut hair, I was given that example, that not only do I have this tool, this shear in my hand now, I have to now sit with and learn and practice over and over and over and over how to use that specific tool for whatever purpose it is. So just like in the hair world, how I may have 5 different shears to cut one person's hair, right? And I know which shear I need to choose to fulfill a certain purpose. For the examples in the lesson that you have given us today, what are the tools that you may speak of, or examples of tools for us on this journey of cleaning up what we messed up? What tools do we need to sit with, or that could be beneficial for us on this journey of cleaning up our space?
Tools that we need to sit with. And I'm going to say this because it gets put into a column of Pollyanna thinking, but there is no greater tool than sitting still and meditating. There's just no greater tool. Now, you don't just spend all the time in meditation, but meditation is both transcendent and it's also mindful. So this morning we did a mindful meditation. You didn't have to close your eyes. You could just travel through the yard with us if you wanted to, and you notice things. That's the mindfulness. It's also transcendent when you try to take yourself to an altered state of conscious. You tune out the world, but it all goes with your premise. It is meditative every time you are learning a lesson. I say a tool that I use, that I've seen work, is to always walk in a meditative spirit. Everybody take a deep breath there, and I'm going to give you an example. And I'm going to ask you a question, Tashana. I'm not saying that you Britney Spears, but I want to know if you've ever had a oops moment. Oops, I did it again. When you were learning those 5 types of shears, did you ever make a cut that made you say, uh-oh, I messed up?
Lots of times.
Lots of times, okay. But what did you do after you made that cut? Or in my case, when I was cutting hair in college, I nicked somebody and cut a plug, and I was like, oh. What did you do when you cut with that shear the wrong way?
Panicked. No. First couple
Yes, you
times I
panicked.
panicked.
Okay.
And then it's stepping back, reassessing, looking at the person's head and saying, okay, is there a way to salvage this? Is there a way to fix this? Is there a way to blend this out? Is there a way or a different tool I can use to help correct what I just messed up?
What you did in that process is a tool within itself. It is a meditative tool. You realize that you messed up, which brought on the feelings of panic and anxiety. But did you throw the shears away? Didn't. See, many of us mess up because the minute we make a mistake, even we're using a good tool, we throw everything away and we quit. But the master cosmetologist sees the mistake, assesses the situation, looks at the individual circumstances, works to make a fix, and then because they had the experience, the person who comes after them benefits from that lesson.
Right.
So when we're in relationships, it's meditative. Why do we bump heads on certain issues? Why did we mess up? If you've ever been in a relationship where you said something and the other person had set them off and you're like, what did I do? I didn't mean to do anything. Well, you probably said something that triggered them. It's an opportunity to either say, okay, we just ain't doing this anymore, or let's sit together in a calm place, make an assessment, and see how we can fix this conversation. That's relationship romantic. That's relationship children. That's relationship friends. That's relationship with our spiritual practice. That is being on the yoga mat and saying, why is it that last week my body was comfortable with this position, but this week it is not? Meditatively, what have I done different? What clothes have I worn differently? What weights have I carried around? What have I not done in my morning routine? All of this is a constant moving meditation. And when we do that, that tool enough, which is also self-interrogation as a tool, allows us to do what you did with those shears. It gives us a tool for moving through. Move through the panic, assess the situation in the right now, and you can't spend too much time thinking about how you messed up, but you shift quickly into a space of neutrality. Meditative space is also neutrality. Meditative space is the wall fell in, the chair stack fell down, the light came off. Everything that is in this granular space in front of me is so difficult right now. Meditative space is, you know what? Let me put this stuff down and step back to a corner of a room where I can see everything. And let me just sit here and stop wondering how everything happened, gain my breath, get my center, and then I realize, oh, okay, here's what needs to be fixed. And when I'm meditating, I'm remembering that I didn't tighten the nut at the top of the light, and that's where it fell. I stacked 7 chairs when it should have been 5 because my mind was somewhere else. Now I get to clean up what I messed up. And then the next time I'm reminded, as I'm laughing, that I get to the 5th chair, I stop and start a new stack. That when I move a light, I put the chain and the nut back in place with the right tools. That everything that went wrong, I learned a lesson from, but it is because I operated from that space of neutrality. When you're in a crisis mode, the thing that you have to do as a tool, practical tool, move yourself from the crisis mode to next a space of neutrality. Neutrality allows you to see the big picture without judgment. You can't have the judgment in there. The next step is taking the action. And that itself, that tool, you see how we just say meditation, but when we unpack what meditation is, we find the tools in those layers. That's why the greatest tool is a 2-pronged tool that is, think of it as an infinity symbol. Meditation, revelation. Revelation into meditation. Meditation into revelation. And the revelation drives the action that is corrective. In science, we call this observation, experimentation. Observation, experimentation. Observation, I got the fabuloso, I experimented, I came back, There was germs all over the floor. People in the house got sick. Let me try something else and then put it back in here. Observation. Oh, they didn't get sick this week. That was great. Put it back into experience. It's a divine cycle, and it must continue to be the cycle. We never rest thinking that we have it all. The moment we rest thinking we have it all, we move into the realm of arrogance, and we can no longer grow. In that way, we are defying who we are. Whether we're recycling our cells every few minutes or every few years, or whether our blood is being cleaned, or whether we're taking a bath or a shower, our nature is to continue to cycle through in a neutral way these two appearing to be polar opposites, which are actually part of the same atomic process. And when we get into this atomic process, and we allow ourselves to exist in the flow where everything is working for our favor, and we're learning, we're getting meditation and revelation, we're getting observation and experimentation. Once we get that going, we are building up momentum. And momentum allows us to deal with the through line that gets us to our divine purpose and continue to let us unpack. I love y'all, man. I love y'all. Are there any things that are in the chat that I need to put up on the screen? Got a lot of good comments in the chat today. Okay, good. Well, look, we got the affirmation of the comments. While we're here, what I want to do is I want to invite us and thank everybody that was in the room. I want to invite us into a space of affirmative prayer in this moment. So everybody bow your heads, close your eyes. If you're at home, go ahead and just begin to embrace this cycle itself of the breath. When we operate in acknowledgement of the breath, we don't try to control it, but by acknowledging it in us, we allow ourselves to reach a space of peace. Divine Spirit, we commit in this moment that as we embrace the concept of cleaning up what we messed up, that we recognize that we get to start our lives all over again. That in this divine moment of recognition and revelation, that as every single cell in our body is constantly growing and evolving, that we are growing and evolving our energy right now. And so we embrace the foundational understanding of permanent positivity. And we live in it right now. We proclaim it, we embrace it right now. That we encounter that which we perceive to be negative as a mere circumstance, but we live in the permanent positive, in knowing that the good is here for us now. And so in this moment, I speak a cleanup. That we are cleaning up and clearing out those thoughts that no longer serve us, that is the level set today, divine source. That which does not serve us does not get to be put on the plate. It is our up right now. It is our moment right now. We are clearing up, we are cleaning out, and we are starting with the slate of good. We live in the permanent positive. Inhale and exhale. State it aloud. I live in the permanent positive. I encounter the negative as a mere circumstance. I live in the permanent positive. I clean up what I mess up. And I start my life all over again. Deep inhale in. Exhale and release. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Hotep. Shalom. Namaste. Asheo. It is done, y'all. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way to unpack. I love this energy. I love this energy we have in Infinity Fellowship. And I love that we get to have some good activities today. We got great things coming up today, y'all, at Infinity. Most importantly, before I turn this screen over to Sister Tashana, who's going to give us some announcements today, and then we'll do our standing ovations and call it a day. I love that this is real spiritual work, and I want to thank you. Even if we've never met each other, I want to thank you for coming into this circle today, and I want to thank you for the healing testimonies. And I want to thank you for making a step, taking a step toward your own spiritual growth and practical tools, seeking less the checklist, seeking more the check-in. Checklist, external, check-in, meditation. Because all that you need is inside you, and sometimes you just need a community to remind you that you're not by yourself. You're not by yourself, y'all. We are here. And so in that spirit, I want to bring back in Sister Tashana. She's going to pull one of those 5 shears out for us and take us through today's morning highlight announcements. Get your pad out in case you want to take a note of something that you want to participate in or be a part of. But it's what's going on at Infinity Fellowship down to Warner Robins, Georgia. Welcome back, Sister Tashana.
Hello again.
Hello.
I am Tashana Lindsley. Thank you for that beautiful download, Rev Jeff. Lot to sit with and journal about later. Good morning again, Infinity. It's afternoon, I believe now, yes. I am Tashana Lindsley here in Georgia, grateful member of Infinity Fellowship. I'm excited to bring you some highlight announcements this afternoon. Here's your final notice on standing ovations. Get your form in if you would like to be recognized for your accomplishments today at the close of service. Welcome to July, the 7th month of the year of momentum. It is month 7 of 2026, the second half of the year. Can't believe it. We are rolling forward, full steam ahead, and moving forward with infinite power of growth and expansion. When we walk in momentum, we experience new growth and new manifestations. So it is no surprise that our daily mantra this year shares the hook of a classic Motown song. Y'all have heard it all year. Get ready, because here I come. Yes. Say it with me at home. Get ready, because here I come. Breathe in and breathe out deeply on getting ready, because here you come. Now, remember our gathering schedule. We meet in person every first Sunday at the Infinity Center and exclusively virtually on second, third, and fourth Sundays. We also feature our third Sunday, that is If Teaches Sunday, like we just experienced today, where we invite you to ask questions after the Sunday download. And then fourth Sunday is always Yoga Sunday, where the entire service is a moving meditation for all levels. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can get the notices when we go live. Next week, it will be fourth Sunday. It is Yoga Sunday, where spirit and mind connect with the body. Since our founding 12 years ago, yoga has been a foundational part of our spiritual practice. Congratulations to everyone who may have been practicing for years, or to those who have discovered yoga for the first time here at Infinity. Next week, we wrap up It's My Up series with a special Sunday of power yoga. That's right, we are going to step into a new level of fitness and flow next week. So pour some extra water for yourselves, get your towels ready, get your mats out. The practice still will be for all levels. So prepare to push yourself to grow and to flow with us from wherever you are in the world. Everyone is invited to our Family Fun Day. Join us today at the Infinity Center. That address again is 641 West Nocturne Drive. The event will be from 3 to 6 p.m. We will have food and refreshments, water activities for the kids, and for grown-ups who don't mind getting tagged with the water balloon or two, you can participate as well. Feel free to bring a summer dish or just yourself, your friends, your family, your kids, come on and experience some infinity fun. To our visitors today, you are all invited as well. So again, that is happening after service today at 3:00 p.m. Bring the whole family out and have some fun. I will try not to have FOMO, as we do not live in Nashville, but we are sending love, energy, and have a blast, you all, today, and enjoy each other. We invite all members to join us for Love and Light, our Wednesday midweek online gathering, which happens in our Infinite Band app, hosted by myself, Tashana Lindsley, along with my wonderful husband, Tyrell Lindsley. We enjoy unpacking the Sunday spiritual download and monthly themes in an authentic and insightful way, with a live discussion between Infinity members that is always insightful, always soul lifting, always just revitalizing us to get through the rest of our weeks. That happens every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Turn on your notifications in the Band app. We look forward to having you join us this Wednesday and every Wednesday after at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. For us, it's Eastern Time, which is 8 o'clock for my Eastern folks. Join us for a safe space. We get together, we have a good time, we unpack the downloads, and after today, we have a lot to talk about, guys. So join us on Wednesday for that. Now, before we close out today's service, let's bring back up Rev Jeff, Lady Kanitha, because it's time for standing ovations.
Good morning again, y'all. As we get ready to close service, when you say what is a standing ovation, we're singing here. Lady Kanitha is already, I'm giving her a standing ovation because she is outside navigating the bouncy houses and the water sports that are going on today at 3 p.m. So shout out. Listen, you're in town or you're in Nashville, even if you hadn't been to Infinity, make this the day you visit. Get your kids, get some of the neighborhood kids, bring them on over. We're just going to be on these 4.5 acres playing and having fun. So that's at 3:00 p.m. We'd love to see you here at Infinity Fellowship. Our high energy here comes from our practice of SNAP. We learn spiritual lessons every single Sunday. That's spirituality. We nurture it through connections with one another in powerful ways. We also then take action on our life's purpose and dreams. And when we do those things, we see the P. And that is the proof that the spiritual practice is manifesting fruit in your life. We want you to see the change. When you clean up what you messed up, you move forward and you see a change. So our standing ovations are here, and here's what we do. When your name is called, you can stand at home if you'd like, and then we'll give you your standing ovation, and then you sit down, and we're going to, everywhere around the world, wherever we are, we're going to stand up and give them a huge round of applause because we tune our frequency to that vibration of goodness. First standing ovation goes to Brother Michael Major, one of our high achieving brothers here at Infinity Fellowship. He wants to let the world know that he graduated from the Nashville Software School's cohort number 9 with a full certification in data science. Yes, snaps around the world. Got some tech geniuses continuing to emerge here at Infinity. Congratulations, Brother Major, man. We know that you're doing major things. I'll let that land. Y'all was driving all night. Okay, that was a good one. Major's doing major things. And he doesn't major in the minors. We go to the West Coast. Kai Kamaria, they tripped me out. Dad jokes. I'm a dad joke man. Chriswell Muhammad, Brother Chriswell Muhammad. We got a good update report. Good gratitude day. We are grateful it has been a long week, now in recovery, doing exceptionally well. Thank you for your prayers last Sunday for my procedure. I am awaiting today's broadcast clothed in my right mind with the activity of my limbs on the way to a better way of living surrounded by love. Thank you, Rev Jeff and Lady Kanitha, for holding the high watch. Thank you, brother, for letting us know that this energy that you put into the universe to take control of your health, and that this entire community has spoken with you through this procedure, and now in the recovery, that we are continuing to send this vibrational frequency of good your way. These two standing ovations, we're going to have you take a seat. Everybody else stand to your feet and join me in making some noise as we send some applause into the world for our standing ovations.
Whee! Yeah! Crank it up! Yeah! Woo!
Almost. I was gonna drop kick the tambourine, and I was like, no, wait a minute, we need that next every Sunday. So yes, we're wired. Rev Jeff gets to go forth in this world and allow this earthly suit to get a little bit of rest, even as it is acting in gratitude. So as all hearts and all minds are clear, as we begin to move forward in a place that awaits our light, as we put our song into the atmosphere, we're going to ask that you join us in singing this beautiful song that we use to close the Infinity Fellowship. As you hear that music, I want you to join me in doing one thing: being grateful enough to share some love with somebody in the chat. Type a name, tag somebody that you see there, pick a random name and say, hey, blessed cleaning, or you got this. May your week be full of new levels of love and awesomeness. Whatever you feel, that is a blessing. At Infinity, when we close service, we speak blessings to people we know and people we do not know, or people we know only from the cosmic plane of consciousness and love. We welcome you to sing our song along with us as we put the words on the screen, and I'll see what my traveling voice can do. Let's go. If today's a brighter day and we are on our way, then we can begin to heal ourselves again. Oh, we remember yesterday, and yet today's a day. God's reminding me to look at you and see family. If today's a brighter day and we are on our way, then we can begin to heal ourselves again. Oh, we remember yesterday, and yet today's a day. God's reminding me to look at you and see family. God's reminding me, God's reminding me to look at you and see family. God's reminding me, God's reminding me to look at you and see family. We speak that the love of God, the power of the cosmos, and the ancestors rest, rock, rule, and abide with us all, henceforth, now, and forevermore. Let us say together, Amen, Amen. Hotep Shalom, Namaste, Hashem. We'll see y'all next week, y'all. Until we speak to you again, this has been Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr reminding you that we love you guys. That's a fact you cannot change. Welcome to Infinity, y'all. We can't wait to see you next week at Yoga Sunday. It's going to be power. So we're going to be working. If you'd like to join us, let us know, and we'll put a mat out for you in person so we can put a few bodies in the room to be encouraging. Again, we love you guys. That's a fact you cannot change. Thank you for being who you are in this world. We love you. Peace.